Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast, Who Gives About Marketing. I'm Maya.
And I'm James.
If you're new here, this is not your typical podcast about how to or why to. This podcast will be filled with great guests and amazing conversations on why you should give about marketing.
On today's podcast, we have Tama Singh from Tama Singh Property. Welcome, Tama.
Yeah, very good. Excited to be on here, and congratulations on starting you guys' podcast.
Thank
very
you.
exciting. This is the time to do it, right?
It's second podcast in. We've got past the first. We got told that you got to make it past episode 7. We're getting on the way.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
So, for our listeners who don't already know who you are, could you give us a little bit about yourself and why you started Tama Singh Property?
Cool. So I've been, a typical person that worked full-time for about 9 years. Within the 7th year of working full-time, I realized that the salary that I was earning wasn't enough to help my parents and my wider family. So I realized I had to do something crazy and entrepreneurial, and I always knew property was like the number one wealth builder. So I dedicated time to learn as much as I could about it. I understood the New Zealand laws around it and how you could leverage and benefit off it better than most places around the world back when I started, and eventually did like 48 flips before I quit, and that gave me all the skills and pretty much like 5 to 7 years knowledge in like 2. And then I pulled the trigger, quit, and then went on to doing flips full time. And then after I did about 50 flips, and our company Asgard at that time to now didn't lose any money, so we thought I'm comfortable now to teach this. And then I transitioned my brand to be Tama Singh Property, so I can start doing seminars and teaching people all the tricks that you wouldn't normally get from anywhere else, high school, university, in a fast, fun way that you wouldn't learn it from someone that's in their late 50s that have, boring methods of teaching compared to how I normally like to break it down. And then, Tama Singh Property was born, and I needed a good marketing team behind me.
What are some examples of, the differences of Tama Singh Property as opposed to other property, seminars and property coaches?
Yeah, so when I did go into seminars, I wanted mine to be different from everyone else's, because there was a time in this country where it was quite saturated, and I realized that if you were when I first started, I called it like alien teaching. If you're an absolute alien and you're fresh from another planet, you sit here and you can understand English, I can teach you everything from start to finish. The moment you open up your laptop and you have a phone, you type this in, you say this, you dial this number. You go on this website, you create this company, you do this. You fill out this sale and purchase agreement, use these clauses, and you say this to the agent. And then people literally started making money from the first seminar ever in January. And then I leveraged of other points where we were weak in, we were strong in, and then just went all in on that. And then we went to the points where networking with other people is a huge thing, a bonus about coming to my seminars. We did cool things that no other seminar people have ever done, where we had like a mortgage broker off, where normally a coach would just have one broker come in, one accountant. But I said, nah, fuck that. Why don't I get 2 brokers to go against each other and argue who's the best?
Yeah.
Right.
So battle it out a bit.
So they can give unbiased thing, and people can smash them with Q&As. And after every single event, we always put on food and drinks, and the bar tab goes to like $3,000, and at least people have a good time and they network. And
What was the normal seminar like before you came on board? Like what did it look like?
Well, before I came on, there's a whole bunch of stuff where you're just trying to sell another product. Yeah. That's the whole thing about it, where coaches withhold information and then they start to leverage them towards a high-ticket product. The last 3 that I've done, I tell everyone pretty much the high ticket's not even available anymore, or like, this is it. We're not even going to talk about it. Come see me afterwards. I don't care anymore. This is all about you guys learning, because my whole thing was helping out the poorest of the kind, which is the masses. There's a lot more poor people in this world than there are people that are wealthy, right? So, and eventually it comes in full circle, where a lot of those people end up leveling up and they come towards you and ask for the high ticket anyway. This is what it's like, right? If you say this is not available, people are like, well, I want it. So that was a big thing. Education first, and then if they want the high ticket afterwards, but it's not hidden in the agenda, which is one of the main differences.
Yeah. Right. You say, property flip. You flipped a lot of properties, and there's quite a big risk around flipping, unless you don't have the education around that. How do you educate people around that side of things?
Well, in this market, which is timely to have me on now, the market is absolutely on a it's a buyer's market where people that say they're selling their owner-occupied houses, they have to understand that people right now are looking for a bargain. It's like page 1 of 758,000 in Auckland when you're looking for any type of house, right? So they're going to spend so long looking for a house. They've got spoilt for choice, and by the time they make an offer on your house, it's going to be dog shit lowball. But the thing is, you have to realize is that when you do take their offer, you have to make up those gains that you've just lost on your next buy. So you have to literally, people are just passing the torch of dog shit offers throughout the market because this is the time to do it, right? So we're doing it literally with one of my family members who's trying to sell their house. But when you go into flipping, that's a totally different ball game where flippers have only recently bought to sell. And they've probably still bought to sell in the same downwards stagnant market where they may have bought last year, finished the renovations, and they're going to put on the market now. The market's gotten worse from when they actually bought last year. Interest rates have stayed higher, and there's more people putting their houses on the market now. So there's way more competition. So it's really important of how they have a strategy to get it sold and an exit strategy to have it rented in case it doesn't hit the number.
Are you seeing a lot of people who come to you like from your social media? They see you first from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And from there, like, how are they getting started? Like, what's the first bit of advice you give them to?
So one of the good things is, with targeted ads and just general property content in New Zealand, that's not what we're really known for, right? For having big influencers talk about property. Nah, that's America's game. Guaranteed that's number one. Australia might have a few, but even then not much. And New Zealand has even fewer. So when I came into it, you have to really pick a niche of who you're targeting. I went after people that are just, way more casual, like someone that doesn't care about swearing heaps, says it how it is, and breaks it down in a fast way, entertaining short sort of videos. That's where and then the following started coming when, you start doing videos where it's really, people are visual as well. They like to see before and afters. They like to see you walk through the house and all this shit that ain't even going to fucking help them.
Yeah, people want to see,
The stuff that does help them, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You definitely leverage your social media through short form video content, and you see that across many different other platforms. Video is the number one way of driving people to convert. And how has that really helped, I guess, grow your personal brand as well?
Yeah, so it's very good to see. I like to tell people that when you watch my videos and you might come to my seminars, I'm exactly the same. If you meet me in person, I'm exactly the same. I'll give you tips like right then and there. Don't expect to be like, how's it going? I'm like, bro, what's your position in finance? We're at the bar right now. I'll fucking help you. Say something now. That's what I'm sort of after. Yeah. But leveraging the personal brand, it's great because it doesn't just go to people that are wanting to learn property. There are also other people that want to actually sell their houses. They come forward and submit a deal. They want to buy, so they might ask us to try and help them find a deal. And another angle is real estate agents. A lot of real estate agents obviously are leveraging social media. And if you're using targeted ads with property real estate investing, they are seeing my face. They are seeing there's so many times I've called an agent. Hey, Tama here. I'm just here to talk about one of your listings. They go, oh, Tama Singh. Oh, from Instagram. I'm like, yeah, it's happened so many times, but the good thing about that is they take me a little bit more seriously because you cut straight to the point where
they know exactly what you do, how you help people.
Yep, and they know you're here to buy.
Yeah.
Number one thing, you're not a time waster, right?
Exactly.
And then they want, salesmen, they were like, okay, we can actually give you the deal that we thought was reserved for because we know you can act fast. And having that type of credibility online, you would never have given that treatment if you had no name behind you. So that's an important thing for my brand.
And I think I was actually scrolling through your videos last night, and like you say, you pretty much are what you see. Like, people can approach you and you're exactly the same as you are in your videos to how you come on to our podcast or how you meet people at the seminars. And people love that because they know that you're trustworthy, you've done it, and it's proven. And people like that. People buy into real people instead of like the fluff around.
And I grew up poor as well. That's the main thing, right? You can't be sitting here generational wealth telling people anything.
Yeah.
People will just be like, oh, okay, easy for you to say, because that's what they're like,
And I think in your seminars, you do talk about, I guess, your experiences and how you've actually grown as a person and how you've developed, wealth through property. So that's really good to hear.
Yeah. And the main point always is like there to help my parents first.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And people want to do the same.
Oh, of course they do.
People really want, people really want to do that. They want to give back to like, their parents. They want to help them, and where they've come from. They want to, they've got a place that they want to get to,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's impossible for people to get there.
Yeah, before they flex on the new car, they have to have sorted out their family first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Repo's gonna come take your car one day.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Unless
At least you can retire your parents for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Repo can't come take that away.
Yeah.
You know?
Unless it's a big enough car to get them all in, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
But
So-
yeah, social media was good. Obviously, when I went to the seminars, I needed someone to come and help me with the website. So that's where, you guys did step in, which was great dealing with you guys, and just something that I've never sort of done before, analyzing how competitors have done it, but also doing it with my sort of twist that I wanted to do. And it's, performed very well. And we're trying to add new things to it, which is just the importance of having that professionalism on a website is the key, right?
Yeah.
You guys would know.
Yeah. You need to have the content on there to, I guess, for users to learn more about the business. I still remember the first webinar we promoted for you,
Yeah.
the $49 webinar.
Yeah.
And that really peaked for you. And you've now developed, deal sourcing program. You've got your property seminars. Do you have any, I guess, success stories from anyone who's come on to, watch and listen to your events? Any impacts that you've noticed?
Yeah, if you look at it on a funnel side, you start off with like the free video you see on Instagram. Then you click the link and you go into like the website. Then from the website you can actually go into like the submission form to register for the next event. And then the next event comes out and they buy a ticket to the seminar. Then from the seminar they like what they see and they might go into like one of the other packages, deal sourcing or the mentorships, right? And then there's been numerous people that have gone into what it's supposed to do. Deal sourcing program, make $5,000 to $10,000 for every deal you find. There's been people, one person's made like 30 grand from that now. Started out and since January, 30 grand since January.
That's incredible.
Mental, eh? And people that have made over $100,000 from one flip, mind you, they are in the trades, but they were like, I would never have even thought about doing this. All I've done is use my hands and worked for my boss for, or doing the job for owner, but I've never been the owner and done the job for myself. And then I said, well, this is it. This is the key. This is how you do it now. You just missed out on the white collar stuff, which is the legal side, the negotiating side, but everything to do with the hammer and nail, you can do.
Yeah.
So each one's got their strengths, and you're trying to tell people like, in this market especially, there's a lot of people on the sideline that shitting their pants. So more people that actually have a bit more balls and education should step forward into the property game, and this is the time to buy, right? But yeah, there's been a successful funnel though on the way that people have come forward. And the feedback still to this day has been 100% positive from all seminars.
And on your social media, I know you've got a real big following on your TikTok and also your Instagram. I think on
Instagram's the main one, yeah.
Yeah, main one. Where do a lot of these kind of people see your videos if they're not going on to like Instagram or TikTok? Does it link back to, do you have like the landing page on your website?
There is the links to see the Instagram from the website, I believe. But I always tell people is that you should definitely jump on Instagram. At this point now, it's like if you think you're gonna make it in property at all, it's like you need to just be on the place. How marketing works, where billions and billions of dollars on how to get people's attention is thrown into. What the hell thinks you're gonna do when your house is on the market and there's no eyeballs coming towards it? Like, this is the starting point. It's free. Join up for free, right? Mark needs your data. Sign up. But yeah, that's it's just easier for communication, instant DMs. You can send photos back and forth. You can send other
voice
videos.
Notes.
Yeah, voice notes.
Yeah.
You can educate them easier because you've seen something, a good property video, then you can just instantly send it to them. So I always tell people like Instagram's the number one platform to use, and yeah, it's good. You can do text. People might not like as much videos but they're at work all the time and it has got subtitles, but they'll read everything you do. So finding the different medias that most people want. Yeah, but for someone like me, it's mainly videos.
And now that you've, I guess, grown Tama Singh Property, you've got something on the line right now called the Investor Pro app.
Yes.
Tell our listeners a little bit more about what it is and how it helps users who download the app.
Yep. So again, when you're starting off and you might not be someone that's really good at maths or anything to do with numbers, and you might be forgetful of expenses, tax, GST, not knowing the actual full numbers that go into a property transaction. And instead of most people would use Excel, which is the spreadsheet on your laptop, you can use it on your phone, but it's very difficult. So we came out with a app, Investor Pro, for a professional investor, right? Where you can plug in all the numbers for either a buy and hold investor, which will give you all your cash flow positions, or you can be put in Flip, which will give you everything to do with your gross profit and your GST, tax. It'll give you breakdown of expenses of all sorts of items that would go into a home renovations, and then it gives you the shareable capability where you might look at a deal and you might be like, this is actually pretty cool, I know someone that might be able to fund this, and you'll scroll down, hit share, and you'll instantly share it with them if they're on the app, which is quite cool. And I've got a lot of deal sources that share deals directly with me, and we've got the option of resources, so they can go in and watch previous webinars, they can get supplier discount codes. It's something that we've been tinkering with since December, and it's got like just about 1,600 people that have signed up for it. We're growing the paid subscription, which is $19 a month, and that should be where all our marketing focus will go, because it's the most scalable sort of product when it hits the App Store, which is hopefully at the end of June, first week of July.
Yeah, that's really good to see, like how you've started and then leverage your social media into all platforms, and now to the app where it's pretty much centralized into one, where people can kind of log on and get everything.
Yeah, well, it's something that I wish I had when I first started.
Yeah,
otherwise we're like napkin, pen and paper, trying to work out something, annoying, maybe annoying your accountant to find out these numbers, but yeah, this is the thing. We're just going to keep adding the resources to it so people can get their absolute value all the time.
Yeah. Have you had any people who have come onto your platform and are now trying to do the same as you, who are constantly, looking to mentor or flip houses as a full-time kind of gig as well?
Yeah, I've had a few people that have come to my seminars and then they end up transitioning and starting their own type of coaching program.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is all good. Unless they came in deliberately to like try and poach and do that stuff out of the blue, which is fine. I mean, I ended up doing property stuff with other people years ago, and then I transitioned to it, right? But that's fine. I mean, some people might not like to learn from someone that swears heaps. Fuck them. But, they might want to learn from someone that... Yeah. New Zealand's a fun place, right?
Yeah.
Racism exists, all that type of stuff. But hey, as long as they're learning and they're not sitting around, doing drugs and being a loser, then that's fine. But there's been a lot of people that have come and they like, actually, I've evolved from being a deal sourcer to starting to do my own flips now. Because they never ever would have had the balls or the money even to get started into their own flips. Yeah. They needed that first point. So once they've done like 3 or 4 deals and they've made like 20 grand, that's like, boom, I've got enough now to partner up with someone else and start our first flip. Or JV with them and have the confidence that they can break down a deal. So there is the evolution of these people that come to these things, and I'm all for that.
No, it's good to see. And I think you're right. Like with Kiwis, like especially in New Zealand, we've got like a culture of people who either are really raw, who want exactly what you offer. Like, they want the personal touch, like who don't, give a fuck about, what the social norms are. Or you've got the other people who kind of want to deal with someone who's in an office, black and white, like suit, and
yeah.
I think you've got two sides of it, and obviously your target market is booming and doing well, and look at where you are now, like with the app and all your following on social media. And for someone who's looking to kind of get into, flipping a property, what can they kind of benefit from your mentoring at the start?
The mentoring at the start is someone that has done it so many times. It's like that whole thing where a smart man learns from his own mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So for something that can literally the mentorship cost was like $23,000, including just right. From most of them, we save them that on the purchase price. That's bang gone, right? There's your money. And then after that, it's like all the stuff helping on renos. Then after that, it's sales process, which is pretty much in this market the most important thing. What's happening? How do we deal with this type of legal issue? We've got this offer and they're trying to negotiate it down because of the XYZ. And who are you leaning towards to get you to answer those questions? Your dad? your mum who bought and sold one property in the last decade. Like, you need someone that has doing this like weekly, monthly, fortnightly. You know, people out there schooling you with their lawyer clauses that you didn't know, you made a mistake. All this type of stuff was where, in the scheme of what a property transaction is, $23,000 is like not much, right? And even compared to what it gets you with other coaches, like when I'm doing it with people, we're the only people that were flown down to wherever they live in the country and train them. Other coaches would ask them again to pay and then fly them up on their own money to come learn. You know, it's just hard for them to learn if they've got kids, and a lot of them have been fun fact, a lot of them have been women in, you know, sort of mid age who just want to do something different from working full time and have additional income, which has been the biggest converter, which is quite cool.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I was going to ask actually, like, where's your kind of target demographic? Like, where's your main?
The biggest is Auckland. You know, it's just a lot of people have the equity and the money behind it to go and buy in the regions, which is where I normally operate.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're trying to get a bit more, seeing what the Australian market's like at the moment, because there's some better council changes that's happening over there in their states, and eventually to become international.
Is that somewhere you're going to look to go as well?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Well, the first time ever I looked at some Australian deals yesterday, and I was like, this website's trash. I don't even know how to operate it. It's like their version of Trade Me. But obviously that was only like 10 minutes of trying. But yeah, eventually doing that, and then you become the person that might be able to help people buy in Australia. Because you need to prepare yourself that if all it takes is one government change, again in New Zealand, that makes New Zealand even more harder to buy, or Australia does another government change that makes it way easier to buy. Right. But you're already prepared for both fronts, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I suppose with a lot of people like looking at, you know, moving over, especially like people who are homeowners who are looking to maybe have a, I guess a second income as well, right? If you've got people like, you know, who can leverage kind of equity from their property and start a project overseas, then, I mean, look, perfect kind of way to get into it from the advice of yourself.
It's the next level up, really.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess like people who are looking to follow in your footsteps, you know, how would they leverage kind of social media or marketing to, you know, be successful?
Well, in this field, it helps because there's a lot of people that you can find from like JV partners, and one of the keys is like other people's money, right? If you have people that are too shit scared, are time poor, but they do have money, and you're putting yourself out there with posting about the deals you've found or your intentions with your goals, and they might actually be like, okay, I might be able to give you like 50 grand to help out in the renos, and you know, they might get a return at the end. It's important. I always say to people that come to seminars that you have to tell people you are a property investor. A lot of people, you know, the first thing is them turning to the bank of mum and dad and asking them for money so they can buy their first house. Of course, the parents are going to tell them get fucked.
Yeah.
But after enough times asking, they do go, oh, okay, maybe we will help. But that's like a 3 to 6 month process. So I always tell people to get the no out of the way as fast as possible. It's just a credibility thing, right? You know, it does help to network with other people. It's worked for me. There's some things that because of my social media and how I've the deals that are on there that I can't even teach this, where we've done certain things where we've got early access into houses that no vendor would ever have said yes to that. This is when you can actually go and start renovating the whole house before you even buy it. Because the agents literally sent them my social media and said, look at this guy, what he does. And they go, the vendor comes back and goes, oh, okay, actually, okay, yeah, fuck it, I'll sign. Yeah. And like that would never have happened if they didn't have any social proof. So that is something I can tell people about, but I can't teach that, you know, because you can't just fucking log in and AI your face onto mine. Well, you actually can.
You
though.
probably can.
That's the thing. You can.
Yeah.
You can AI anything now.
Yeah. AI is the AI the next step for Tama Singh Property?
Yeah. Well, yeah. AI is the next thing for anything, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Is that something you thought about?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I actually did a video that's about how I think AI is going to either disrupt or merge itself into property. Some crazy things where it's like, imagine if AI can just backtrack your credit score and find out that you're shit before you even can apply for a tenancy. They can see all your spending and all the stuff. It's like there's privacy laws that stop that right now because the property manager has to get your authority to actually go and do that stuff. But there's going to be AI where it's like just type in your name and you're never going to get a house ever.
Yeah.
You're never going to get a tenant rental place. Nah.
Yeah.
AI is going to shut that down.
AI webinars for Tama
Yeah,
Singh.
that's already happening,
Yeah.
right? Content creators have just created an avatar of themselves, which is them.
Yeah.
The lips are moving, the voice sounds the same, and they're just creating content every single day, you know? And it's going to be shit for now, but in like 2 years' time, it's like, well, you have no idea if this guy's real or not, but he sounds exactly the same.
Sounds the same, yeah. Getting the same results,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's really good. So Tama, look, for our listeners, can you tell them why they should give about leveraging their social media to help them be successful?
Well, it's the new CV, right? But the funny thing is, that's been called the new CV for probably like 5 years now. So it's like, if they haven't fucking clicked on this shit, it's like, when you clicking on this, right? There's that saying, you know, Bill Gates used to say, if your business is not online, you will soon not have a business. And that was like 20 something years ago. So now, if people don't have a website, it's like, don't even speak to anyone in the world ever. If you haven't got social media, that's probably like, when is the last straw now when they realize they actually need it? Any business owner should have social media. It's a good place for people to write reviews, leave testimonials, share screenshots of feedback. The way that these trillion-dollar companies are thinking about this, not just to make money, some of them do it genuinely to help grow people's brands because they need them to pay for ads and get the return. It is there to help business owners from the most successful companies on planet Earth. So you have to leverage that, and it's a faster way now to... Social media is faster than people like website conversion somewhat. Because a
It's
website,
instant.
website
You can connect with
is the
people.
full meal, right? And social media is the bite size. So you give them the entree, then eventually they go to your website, right? But if you haven't given them the entree, then they might just not even turn
gonna be a
up.
long
They might not even
process.
turn up
They
at the
won't even
restaurant,
get
right?
dessert.
Yeah,
Because everyone knows sides taste better than the mains, right?
definitely.
Well, that's the reason. So leverage your social media, and it helps with everything. If you're going to be creating content, you actually get to express your thoughts. It's one of the reasons why Twitter was so successful, where people are posting their thoughts immediately. It helps with your confidence, and if you're going to be trying to make videos, it helps you realize that you're an idiot. You can't even spell correctly because you're typing stuff out and you're getting autogrammed every third word. So you realize, oh shit, I actually need to read a book for once instead of watching Netflix. But there's numerous things, you know. But if you're going to be doing that, what people get distracted and they go, oh cool, I'm going to grow my social media now, I'm going to grow social media now. I need to rot my brain on TikTok for like 50 hours a week because I'm learning, I'm researching, and they're not even doing anything. They're just using it to look at memes more. And their partner's like, why are you on your phone all the time? They're like, oh, I'm just doing research. I'm about to be an influencer. You know, you got to be like, no, I'm only going to go on there for actually learning about my niche. Start typing and shit on your search bar with the hashtag of what your business is. So you can start to see all the content creators that are doing content in your niche and then either copy or make it better. That's the easiest way.
I'm guilty for that.
Absolutely. Great artist copy.
It's for work.
Good artist,
It's for work.
Good artist copy, great artist steal.
Yeah.
That's it. And everything on the internet is just copy, paste, right click, save as, save image. AI.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm trying to get past the doom scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that.
I've got a couple books by my bed,
Oh, yeah?
but they're just for show.
Nice. Yeah. Well,
You know, I go to read a page. Yeah.
Back on.
yeah. Audiobooks might help, you know.
I've started getting into them actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've started getting into
Just
a couple.
audiobook 1.25 speed.
I do that, yeah.
Never listen to it on one speed.
This is where I'm going wrong. Yeah, this is where I'm going wrong.
If you have to listen to anyone speak on one time speed, close the app. That's not for you.
Yeah.
Train your brain to, you know, hear things said faster.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, thank you so much, Tama, for coming on our podcast, our second episode.
Yeah.
And if you have listened to the very end, we are very happy for that. And thank you so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe to our channels and stay tuned for more episodes to come.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, Emma.